In this video, I'm going to explain the difference between Joseph Campbell's hero's journey and Dan Harmon's story circle. And stick around to the end and I'll explain how you can use both most effectively as a writer in your work. My name is Drury. I'm an award-winning writer, a published cartoonist, and for the last 10 years or more, I've been doing a deep dive into Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, and I've become enthusiastic about talking about it. Comparing and contrasting Campbell's hero's journey and Harmon's story circle is a little difficult because they're two different items meant to do two different things, so it's a little bit like comparing apples and hammers. The hero's journey is a name that Joseph Campbell applied to a recurring pattern that he and other people noticed in the world's mythologies and religious stories. And even though the hero's journey gets brought up a lot when people are talking about stories and story structures, and even though Joseph Campbell was a literature professor at Sarah Lawrence College, I don't believe when he was developing the hero's journey, he really had storytelling and story structure in mind. I believe his focus was the pattern itself that he was noticing and what it told us about the human condition and being human. The hero's journey has 3 stages that are divided into 17 steps. Dan Harmon was a screenwriter, famous for his work on movies like Monster House and Kung Fu Panda, and for creating TV shows like Community and the cartoon Rick and Morty. Harmon wanted to make screenwriting easier, so he took the 17 steps of the hero's journey and boiled them down into 8 stages. As a writer, you can take your characters and your story setting and you can plug them into these 8 stages, and it will help you develop a plot for your story. So see, 2 different tools with 2 different functions. One is meant for examining and exploring mythological stories and understanding their impact on human life. The other, though adapted from the first, is really a tool for helping writers tell better stories. For a writer, I would suggest the story circle as being more immediately beneficial for telling good stories, but the writer's circle was based on the hero's journey, so there has to be some benefit from studying both. My suggestion, and the way I've used both in the past, is that you use the writer's circle to help you develop the basic plot of your story, figuring out what the story's about. And then you can take the 17 stages of the hero's journey and use it to kind of flesh out details of the greater story. For instance, the first 2 stages of the story circle are that a character is in a zone of comfort and suddenly find themselves wanting something. In the hero's journey, these 2 stages correspond with the first 3 stages, in which the hero hears a call to adventure. All of a sudden they find themselves wanting something. They temporarily refuse the call. They decide for whatever reason they're not going to go after the thing. And then they meet a mentor or supernatural aid, which is a person who's familiar with the journey they have to go on and encourages them to go on it. So the hero's journey is great at giving you different ways of expanding on the initial plot that you developed with the story circle. Obviously, there is a lot more to both of these concepts than I was able to cover in this short video, but hopefully this gets you on your way.